My name is Deana, and I am the Youth Services Librarian at the Irvin L. Young Memorial Library. Today I'm here to share with you some resources that will help you find plants that are considered safe for your cat. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started. First and most importantly, I'm not a veterinarian, and nothing in this program should be considered a substitute for proper veterinary care. Per the ASPCA website, even plants that are deemed non-toxic can cause medical distress in your cat depending on the amount that they ingest and on whether or not your cat has any underlying conditions. So if you have concerns, you should contact your veterinarian. Next on our list, we're going to be talking predominantly about houseplants, but a lot of the resources that I'm going to share also have information about outdoor plants and things you might put in your garden. So if you have an outdoor cat, these resources will work for you as well. And last but not least, while these plants are considered safe for your cat, there's no guarantee that your cat isn't going to get into some of them. And Gansey's doing a wonderful demonstration of that right now. So just be aware that your cat might still get into these plants, but they're a little bit less likely to land you with a huge veterinary bill. Let's get started by taking a look at some of the resources that are out there to help you determine whether or not a plant is toxic. One of the best resources available for finding cat-friendly plants is the ASPCA's Poisonous Plant Database. This database is very comprehensive. It has the biggest list of plants that I was able to find when I was looking to add plants into my household. The database is divided into lists of toxic versus non-toxic right here. And the plants are all listed in alphabetical order. Now you can browse by common name, or if you want to browse by the plant scientific name, that works too. This list is printable, so you can take it to a store with you if you choose, and it's also searchable. So if I'm interested in buying a Boston fern, can type it in and there are my results. Gives you the scientific name, the family, and it states that it's non-toxic to cats. Now, if we take a look at an option, we're going to look at tulips here, which are considered toxic. Again, we find the scientific name and the family, the statement that it is toxic to cats. It also lists what makes it toxic and the clinical signs that you can look for if your pet has gotten into your tulip bulbs. Now, in addition to the online database, the ASPCA also has a mobile app. Now, the app is not as comprehensive as the website. It has a significantly smaller list of plants. But one of the things that I really liked about the website is that rather than dividing things into toxic versus non-toxic, it color codes its list to reflect the level of toxicity. So, and you can kind of see this color coding system right here. So let's talk about snake plants for an example. Snake plants have become incredibly popular because they're easy to care for and they thrive in a lot of different environments. If I'm looking on the website, snake plant is listed on the toxic list. However, if I pull it up in the web app, it has a green dot, meaning that it's only mildly toxic. And that's going to allow me to make a decision as to whether or not this plant is appropriate for my household if I have cats that maybe aren't interested in my plants, or if I'm able to place it somewhere where my cats can't get it. So that is one of the advantages of the mobile app. Now, another great resource is your local humane society. There are a few different humane societies that have put out lists, and we're going to take a look at two of those of potentially poisonous plants. This list is from the Humane Society of the United States. So this list is going to be used to find plants that you're going to want to avoid. And what I like about this is that it lists which parts of the plants are toxic. So, for example, for a daffodil, it's just the bulbs. For a daylily, the entire plant is toxic and is something you're going to want to avoid. Lastly, it lists where you're likely to find these plants. So, might be a house plant like the elephant's ear down here, or it might be a wildflower like the delphinium right here. The Arizona Humane Society also has a very similar list. It states up here that it's for dogs, but down here it notes that it's toxic plants which may produce a toxic reaction in animals in general. So this list isn't just for dogs. And this is organized in much the same way that the other Humane Society list is organized. It lists the toxic parts of the plant and where the plant is likely to be found. So these lists I did find online. That is an option. You can also contact your local Humane Society and they may have something for you. Last but not least, if you're finding these lists and websites and apps to be very overwhelming, there are plant sellers out there who have lists and packages of cat safe plants that you can purchase. And I'm going to show you an example of one of those. Just to be clear, I'm not advertising for this company at all. This is not an endorsement of this company. This is just a particular example. So this website actually has a pet-friendly succulent pack. So you can actually purchase a package of plants that are going to be non-toxic for your pets. And this is their entire list. They actually have this organized as a list of non-toxic succulents. And then it allows you to make a purchase and provides you with some information, which is fantastic. So these are some of the many options you have to find out whether or not a plant is safe for your cat. Now, I'm going to show you some of the plants that I have in my home.
Welcome to the third and final part of our Cat Safe Plant program. I wanted to show you some examples of cat safe plants that you can have in your house. Now, I am a plant novice. I'm really inexperienced with houseplants. So in addition to looking for things that were safe for my cats, I also wanted things that were going to be harder for me to kill. So first up is my spider plant over here. These are cat safe, and they're also supposed to be very hardy and be able to thrive in lower light conditions. I also decided to go with a lot of succulents because, again, in theory, hard to kill. So there are a lot of succulents that are very safe for your pets. However, some very common succulents like aloe and jade are highly toxic. So that's something you're going to want to watch out for. But Hens and chicks, which are pretty popular. You can see I have a couple of those here. They are considered non-toxic. My Echeveria there, I absolutely adore this one. Echeveria, there's a few different types of this, and these are non-toxic. I also have a Haworthia here. This is another non-toxic succulent, and I think this one just looks so absolutely cool. I love the stripes and the spines on this. I wanted to add a little bit of color into my house, and so I did want just a couple of flowering plants. So I did get some African violets, and these are another plant that you will find on a lot of the pet safe plant lists as being non-toxic. These ones kind of top the list. So I brought a couple of these in, and then decided to save the coolest for last. I absolutely love these. These are real plants. They do not look like it, but they are real. They're called air plants. They don't need any soil. You just have to mist them with water every so often, and they thrive without you having to plant them in anything. I just think these are so incredibly amazing. So, those are some examples of cat-safe plants here. And then I will put a list of all the resources that were mentioned in today's program in the comments section of the video. So are there any resources that you like to use to learn more about plants that are safe for your cats? You should post those in the comments as well. Have a great day.